Okay, so first let's talk about, I just kind of want to cover some more strategic items, just so we can help direct how we create and how we, now Tim wants in. Oh boy.
Still warm from this morning.
No, it's not. It's cold.
I want to drink it though.
Let me try it.
Have it. No, it's cold. Where's your mask?
Okay, so tell me a little bit about who you want to communicate these points to. Is it just to the reps? Is it to more than that? Yeah.
It is. It's the story that we all want to be telling the contractor and architectural and anybody who asks community. So I want to make sure that from Danny and myself to Bill to our sales reps, we're all telling the same story about our product and its product origins.
Right. Okay.
But ultimately, the message is to the construction community.
Ultimately, the message is to the construction community. Okay, that makes sense. And then let's talk a little bit about how, I guess, so there's different groups that you are normally like fielding these concerns with, right? So tell us a little bit about how you're communicating these points now. So I know you sent the email that Danny has used before. So is there other ways? Are you doing it outside of email, or right now is it just email or in person?
Right now it's just email or phone calls and going over the what our different talking points are. And it might be different from me than what Danny's telling somebody, but basically that's how we're communicating now. We really don't have a uniform story.
Okay. So I guess that's what we're here for, right?
Correct.
Okay. That's good. So tell us maybe a little bit about what sort of objections you're hearing, and from who, I guess would be important, about the Made in China products.
So mainly, we'll get an objection from an architect that doesn't want to put us in the specification when Tectum's involved. They'll use the Made in China stigma to not put us in the specification. So that's where our big objection is coming from. Maybe a contractor here and there, but mostly contractors are worried about price. So really, it's the architectural community that we want to make sure that they understand that there's more to it than just Made in China.
Okay. Is there anything, like any sort of friction that you're hearing from your distributors or reps, or is it mainly just architectural?
Well, the reps are the ones coming back to us that they're running into some walls when they're presenting to the architectural community. So they'll come back to us and asking us what the story is or how to communicate back to the architectural community what's happening or what's our origins.
Okay. All right. So let's move along here and say. So do any of your competitors produce 100%, fully made in the U.S. products?
Tectum is 99% made in the U.S. The only thing I'm not exact sure about is where they get their magnesium oxide. I thought at one time that was Gulf of Mexico, but in Mexico itself was the supplier. But Tectum was pretty much 90% made in America.
Okay.
And they're obviously our main competition.
Yeah. And, are they, to your not well, I mean, I think we already all kind of know this, but to your knowledge, are they out there kind of dragging your name through the mud, because of your...
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we know that. We've caught them a couple of times. We've done the cease and desist. We've had our lawyers get involved with that at times, but yeah, they're definitely spreading the message.
Okay.
Yeah, this all stems from them. Nobody else. This isn't originating from anywhere but Tectum employees and Tectum reps. and from calling it a Chinese product to calling us a Chinese company, all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what we thought was going on. But all right. Well, hey, Kim wants on now. Can we let's just take a real quick break, and I'm going to try to conference her in. If you guys don't mind, it shouldn't take long at all. Stand by.
No problem at all. No.
Everyone's here?
We're here. Yep.
Hey. Okay. Can we have where we started? But
Yeah, sure.
too far down the agenda. We just got done talking about.
We're just wrapping up, Kim. Sorry.
Yeah, we're just wrapping up. Sorry.
Yeah, right. That's me, always late to the party. Gosh darn it.
I did a weird. So it's funny because I did a weird conference line or thing in the invite, and then the one that I did set up wasn't working for me anyway. So anyway, here we are. So we're talking about how Texum has like 99% made in the U.S. products, and how they are the main naysayer, so to speak, of Cardinals less than 100%. So let's move on and talk a little bit. Maybe we can unpack this made in the USA from U.S. imported parts classification. And Mark, I took the following bullet points directly from your outline. So let's maybe talk a little bit about that just so we can flesh it out. So maybe walk us through this process so we can better understand that category.
Sure. I think Danny, you want to unpack this one for us?
Sure. Which bullet point here?
Mainly, say was imported parts.
Okay. So you want to ask how we get that terminology? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. So, yes.
So, do you have the attachment up from the attorney by chance?
I do.
So basically, from what I understand, and I don't even know if this is do we still get the wood from New Zealand? Is that still accurate? Building?
Yes.
Okay. Are they still working on that? Yeah. That won't be from New Zealand, though?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
But no.
Well, the wood that's in our product is imported, and I've got pictures, if that helps too, that shows that these massive trees from New Zealand. And then once it gets imported to the facility in China, called Minyu, M-I-N-Y-U, they cut these trees and strip these trees and peel these trees down into the very fine little fibers that make up our panel. Then they actually put those big old fibers in a press, like a 4x8 form, and they're pressed with the magnesium oxide binder and with water. So they do make a 4x8 blank panel. Blank is pretty much what I like to call it. After it's formed and then pressed, which I don't know how long that process is for, maybe how many days, you know?
It's formed and pressed for
Okay, about a week. Then they cure the panel in their greenhouses at their facility for about 30 to 45 days. Then they stack them in containers and ship them to us. And when we bring them in, we're supposed to, although I don't think we're doing it all the time, we dry every panel through our dryer to reduce the moisture content. And then that's when we begin to fabricate. The stigma that our competition is putting off is that we're shipping in boards from China. They come into our plant, and then we just repackage them up, put a Cardinal sticker on, and ship them back out to our customers. We do employ, I think, 20 to 25 people at our facility that take in the material, dry the material, cut the material, paint the material, add an edge treatment to the material. The product, like our Cardinal Complete or our Cardinal Clouds, have a whole nother manufacturing layer where we're completely not compromising, but I don't know what the right word is, changing the material essentially. And as you can see in that attorney's thing, all that stuff that we're doing and more that I didn't even name, I guess, adds a layer of manufacturing. And once you add a layer of manufacturing, you can claim that a portion of that product is made in the United States. Yeah. But, it'd be misleading, like he said, to say it's fully made in the USA. I liked his examples in that memo about what is considered made in the USA with imported parts and what's not considered made in the USA with imported parts. I think we clearly meet the line of made in the USA with imported parts because we are changing the makeup of the board. Even the performance of the board. A lot of what we do on the Cardinal Complete panel changes the noise reduction coefficient of the panel. It goes from a standard 60 NRC up to a 90 NRC. So everything that we're doing here in the United States for that one product changes the performance of the product. Nothing that was done in China attributes to that.
Right. There's still a huge portion of the work and value in the product that takes place on American soil. Okay. Cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off if you were still talking, but I think.
Oh, no, you're good. And also, like, on top of that, like Mark has said, I don't know if we have it in here or not, but I don't know how you can incorporate this into any kind of piece, but what we've said over the phone to people is, again, we're not doing business with some Chinese company that we have no idea how to communicate to. We do business with a company called D-Terra Solutions out of Columbus, Ohio, who has people on site in China overseeing all the manufacturing. We created a spec book with D-Terra, and the product has to meet a whole bunch of specifications before it's approved to ship to the United States. And our American company is the one that is reviewing those specifications. So everything has checks and balances with an American-based company before we approve it to come over.
Okay. Awesome. And I think we'll talk, I want to talk more about the relationship with D-Terra after we get through some of these things, because I know that's like a huge piece, and I don't want to lose it. So, but let's just stay on track here. So, tell us a little bit about what the benefits are of having your products being made over. Well, not your products, but tell us what the benefit is for you guys. Yeah, that